So we're repainting the shutters this morning. We had the family over last week. Fabulous time together, but I did make them work for their room board. So one day we took the bottom shutters down from the house, took them off, sanded them down, used a very innovative wipe, alcoholic wipe, commonly known as Armagnac instead of methylated spirits. So today we're going to give them a second coat of paint. Did have a wobble on the colour, not quite sure it's the blue I'm looking for, but it may just be that the burgundy red is shining through in parts, and that's what's putting me off. So I'll do another coat. However, I have got another 2 tins of paint of this colour, so I think we should be fine. So we're doing the second coat on the shutters, which is coming along nicely. See, I was a little bit concerned that I wasn't quite the colour I was looking for, but I've just decided to accept it. It is alright, and I think the more coats we put on, the better. It'll be fine. So these are the 4 shutters, doing 4 shutters, giving them another coat that we did last week when the family were over, which was lovely. It made them work for the bed and board. We sanded these shutters and then gave them the first coat. We used an innovative method of wiping down the sanded boards. Instead of spirits, methylated spirits, we used our very own Armagnac. Not the nicely bottled ones. One of the bottles was half used and corked, so certainly not drinkable. So we used that to wipe it down, and it worked a treat. Excellent. So at Moulin Labrune, that is how we wipe down our sanded painted wood. Excellent. Not sure anybody else uses Armagnac, so unique to our own little Moulin Labrune. Just getting into all the little nooks and crannies, all the little bits that we think they've got, but actually they haven't. So you look from a different angle, you think, no, that bit's that there. So it's hotting up nicely here today, as usual. So this won't take long to dry in the sun. It's coming along nicely. On to shutter number 3 now. So this is just one side of each one so far. And some need more attention than others. So when we were doing the shutters, I got my son, Kyle, he was overstaying for a week, and my son-in-law, Steve, to sand the shutters. And then, and Steve actually does this for a living. So he advised that we need to rub down the sanded shutters with methylated spirits, so an alcohol-based thing, to take off the excess paint, so that we could, the excess dust and things that we'd sanded, so that we could then paint. It would be a cleaner surface. Now, it didn't have methylated spirits, so as some of you may know, we did find a stash of Armagnac, which the grandmother used to make. So it's kind of like homebrew Armagnac. But we have about a dozen bottles, and we have some that are not drinkable, i.e. it's like half a bottle, and there's one in particular that was half a bottle and it was corked. The cork was floating inside, so definitely wouldn't advise to drink that. So anyway, we had done a test to see how much alcohol was in it. So we had put a little bit in a dish, set it on fire, and a beautiful blue flame. So we knew there was a high alcohol content. So, you know, you make do amends with what you have. So instead of methylated spirits. We use ammoniac to wipe down the surface of the shutters so that we can paint them. Water treat. Not sure anybody else uses ammoniac to wipe down the shutters, but we do at Moulin Labrune. It looks quite funny. But it did work a treat. So we did also get just about the whole family involved. We had Christy, my daughter, painting the shutters. We also had two of my grandsons painting the shutters. My daughter, one of my daughter-in-laws was on twin duty. We have twin granddaughters who are magnificent. And so tonight's job is painting these windows. I've got masking tape on them on the glass, so hopefully I won't get blue everywhere. And these windows correspond with the shutters outside. So I'm going to give these ones a first coat tonight. So they should be okay for another coat tomorrow morning. So we're going to start painting these windows. I'm going to start at the top. I'm going to clamber up on a chair. I do have ladders, but I can't find it. Right. We'll start at the top and work our way down. There we are, lovely blue. I have no doubt, like the shutters, we will need a few coats. But we shall see how many coats we need. This seems to go on quite well though. Nooks and crevices, again like the shutters, but I'll need to do the blue, because we don't want this burgundy just shining through. I'm going to do this side of the window because that side is the wood side, i.e. the varnished wood, which we're keeping. So we don't want the blue paint on there. I meant to do that bit. Right. Okay. Damn it. I wasn't meant to do that top bit. So, I wonder how easy this is to wipe off. Okay. A little bit of stopping just now and wiping that bit. There we go. Okay, let's start again. We have managed to take off the bit at the top. There might be slightly some there, but we can sand that off. It's not a problem. So, it's just this inside bit, not the top bit, because that's frame for the internal window. So again, it's just this inside one and not the other side. The chair. Okay. Wonderful. Excellent. I suspected it would need another coat. Just finishing off window number 2. Getting there. And that'll be it for today. Very warm, so I should. So I'm quite pleased that we've started on the windows and the shutters because the sun is so fierce. I mean, it is really hot. So every day that passes, I know it needs protected. Then the worse it's going to get. Having said that, there's a huge amount of wood that also need protected, like the facings on the barns and buildings. So I have a feeling I'm going to have a paintbrush in my hand, a roller, or spray down. Quite a while to come. That's okay. That's what we said. And I think that's us. The first coat anyway. Good. A couple of coats on that and Bob Shinanti.